I was scammed and it sucks. And I've waited a few days before I was going to make this video. One, because I kind of had to simmer down. And I want to share my experience and hope that this doesn't happen to anyone else. Use the app Mercari. For the last 10 years, I joined Mercari in 2016 and I have bought and sold on Mercari with really no issues. My husband's Aura ring on Mercari. And this is what it looks like. And if you can kind of foreshadow what has happened, yeah, you can already see it. But my husband had the Series 4 Aura ring, which is the brand new one. And I also have a Series 4 Aura ring. Mine is ceramic. My husband's is not. I also had a silver one, but I no longer have my silver one because I updated to a ceramic one. And I like my ceramic one. Husband's ring up for sale because he was going to get the ceramic one. Then he changed his mind, was like, yeah, no, I don't want the ceramic one anymore. I'm just going to get the Garmin watch. And his Garmin watch does the same thing that this little thing right here does, except there's no subscription with it. And that made him super happy. It had been on my Mercari, like I guess closet, you want to call it. It had been up for like a good month and a half and I wasn't getting any bites from it. So when I got offered $85, I said, yeah, $85 is better than no dollars. And two, the way it's like, his is pretty scratched up. You can't tell with the lighting right now the way it is, but there's quite a few scuffs and everything on it. Up the ring and everything. I have it fully charged before it is set off to go to the buyer. And everything is going perfectly. Remember these dates, January 28th and February 5th. So on February 5th, I got an alert from Mercari that said, hey, that the buyer is wanting a refund on the ring and to send it back. And I'm like, what? Why? Why are they wanting to send it back? And they're claiming that it doesn't work. And I'm like, and I was like, what do you mean it doesn't work? There's no way that this ring doesn't work. It was working fine. So I looked through what the buyer was saying and red flags. There were 3 different things that the buyer said that if you have an Aura ring, you kind of know that they don't exactly make sense. If you have an Aura ring, you know you have to connect it to be able to see the charge and to see everything. And they sent a screenshot of the app with the Aura ring hooked up to it. So I was like, oh, dear Lord. So in my head, what I was thinking is that the buyer just had buyer's remorse, didn't realize that you had to pay for a subscription to use like all of the bells and whistles on the Aura ring, or they just saw how scratched up it was and was like, yeah, no, I don't like it, because you can get these like little silicone things to go over them, but they do make them a little bit bulkier than what they already are. And sometimes people just don't like that. I replied back to Mercari and I was like, this seems to just be user error. There's absolutely nothing wrong with the ring. I never would have sold a bad ring. And Mercari approved the refund and the return. And I was like, okay, whatever. Now, I don't know if Mercari does that automatically. From what I'm seeing after all of my research since this incident has happened is that it's like an automatic, just like, yeah, they get to return anything and everything. So I was like, all right, cool, whatever. Send it on back. Ring back actually on Friday the 13th is that the buyer thought that I wasn't going to do any kind of investigating or check into the issues that they said was happening with this ring, because I don't know, I guess they thought I was just going to take it face value. But me knowing that I didn't send a ring in that condition, I was like, yeah, I'm going to check this out. So as soon as I get the ring, the first thing that I absolutely hated, and this is a pet peeve of mine, but it's also like, you don't do that. So this is how they sent the thing back to me wrapped up. What are we doing? That's not how we do our cords. That kind of irked me. Then I put the ring on the charging base. Once I went and got my cord and had it hooked up, put the ring on there, got my husband's phone, put the app back on there, did everything, got it connected. And then once I got it connected, red flag number 1, it started flashing. And I was like, why is it flashing? I've never seen that before. So I'm just like messing with the ring a little bit. And I'm like, that's so strange. It's not wanting to connect. And I was like, that's weird. I haven't had that issue before. It's not right. So I did a chat with Aura. I'm like, hi, there's something up with this ring. I'm not sure what it is. This ring was working perfectly fine about a week and a half ago, and now it's not working. What's going on? And they tell me, oh, well, there's been a claim put in on this ring, and a new one was sent out. Sent out to who? Oh, well, the new ring was sent out on February 5th. On, what does it say? What do they say? Flag on the play? Whatever. Red flag. So I was like, no, I didn't put in for a replacement. That's what? And they're like, yeah, February 5th, a claim was put in and we actually mailed it out on that day. They were like, every Aura ring has a serial number and yeah, it's hooked to this account. They're like, you did it. Who's you? Because I'm me and I didn't do it. And I was seriously like, I was so dumbfounded, and it was not Aura's fault because the way that it went down, it's straight up fraud, theft. Like, they were pretending to be me, and that's not okay because I am the original buyer of the ring. And so the package. So when you buy and sell from Mercari, you get your driver's license and you have to do different kinds of verification to prove that you are you and you are who you say you are. Perfect scam. They had my name, they had my address. The only thing they didn't have was proof of receipt, and they just said that it was a gift. And they didn't have the original proof. But since no claim had been put in on this ring, they went ahead and sent them a new ring to an address that was not mine. That the ring was not registered with. Yeah, that's the one thing that I was like, but in their defense, you don't believe that people are lying to you when they claim that the ring was gifted to them and they moved and this, that, and the other. You don't think that people are lying. So I was like, all right, this was an elaborate scheme. I called the buyer out because I was like, no, that's disgusting. That's gross. Like, you don't do that to people. So I was like, hey, you're a scammer. And I let Aura and Mercari know. And they were like, what? What are you talking about? And then I told them, I was like, I reached out to Aura because you claimed that the ring didn't work. And I know I did not send you a bad ring. So I was genuinely concerned and went to look into it. And you put a claim in on my ring and got a brand new one sent to you on February 5th. I was like, Aura confirmed it with me. And then the buyer said that, well, Mercari approved the return and said I had to send back the original, not the one the manufacturer is sending me. I'm not continuing this conversation. And then they proceeded to block me. So I could not say, which is probably just a good thing, and it was probably a thing from the universe because what I was going to say was not appropriate, nor was it going to be nice. But yeah, so the buyer knew what they did, and I screenshot that and sent it to Mercari. So I did put in a claim with Mercari, and I'm waiting to hear back. And in all honesty, I don't have high hopes. I've looked on their social media, and I've kind of done some research now that I've been scammed and see that it's not looking like it's going to work out in my favor. Mercari does what I hope they do and gives me the $85, because once I get the $85, I don't care that she keeps the other ring. But being that if she gets to keep the $85, that's not okay. Try calling their customer service because I just wanted to talk to someone to explain the situation and to talk about like what the buyer did and what like the buyer was trying to get 2 rings but couldn't get 2, so they decided just to keep the one and send me this one back. Mercari doesn't know anything about these, basically the things that are being sold on their platform, and it kind of comes at a fault of Mercari, but it also makes them a middleman. People are obviously taking advantage of the situation, of your poor customer service, and using that to their advantage. That's how I got scammed out of an Aura ring and $85. The issues up until now. Now, will I sell on there again? No, it's not worth the hassle. It's not worth the headache. And I feel like as a seller, you have more to lose than if you are a buyer. I buy through PayPal. So if something's not the way it says, and if I really want to dispute something, I'm going to with my bank and with PayPal. So I feel like as a buyer, you have a little bit more protection than you do as a seller. Update you guys on what Mercari says. Down below what you think. What would you have done in this situation? Just let me know your thoughts and opinions. And you guys, that is all I have for you today. I hope you have a great day and a blessed week. And be nice. Be a good person. All right, guys. Besos. Bye, guys.